A very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this series, webinar 3 of the series 1, where we have been discussing about various features in the Camus platform. We'll just wait for 2 more minutes because we see people joining up. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start with the webinar. So in the meantime, for your questions during the session, we'll normally have a questionnaire at the end of the session. In the meantime, in the middle, if you feel, do you have any other questions? So you can always use the chat box where you have a question section where you can post in your questions. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. I hope all of you are safe. I hope your families are safe in this kind of challenging situations. And it's also a good sign that slowly things are hitting back the normalcy. Now, so let me quickly share the screen and presentation. Hope all of you are able to see my screen. Yeah, thank you. Camu is the name of our product. Octos Technologies is our organization's name. We are based in Chennai. We are operational in 6 different countries. So today's agenda would be virtual classrooms, being able to use the platform for online and on-premises scenarios, being able to have a single plug-and-play system using which you can shift across various video conferencing tools as per the feasibility and flexibility of the organization, being able to have multiple dashboards using which you can completely take your governance, and have complete traction over what is happening across different departments when classes are happening in the online kind of scenario, right? I am Fayaz. I am product specialist with Camu. I've been in academics all my life. I come with a background of masters from National Institute of Technology, Warangal. I have a MCEP certification from IIM Trichy. So as I said, just like me, there are many academicians who are part of the Camus platform and who are sitting in our R&D. So day in, day out, as we speak, the product is evolving. So let me quickly give you a little insights about we as an organization. Then I will take you into the demonstration part, right? So as I said, we would not like to call ourselves as any other LMS or SIS system. Rather, we would like to call ourselves as a system that is student-centric learning ecosystem, which through which we want to empower students, right? So when I say learning outcomes, we are in line with 14 different accreditation bodies and education policies across the globe, like Washington Accord, Seoul Accord, NAAC, NBA, right? And similarly, when I talk of student success, so we believe in not only empowering students with what the best of technology has to offer them, and also to reduce monotonous and redundant activities for faculty by giving them access to multiple kinds of modules. Talking of lifelong learning, most of the education policies now mandate lifelong learning, where we as a system support lifelong learning at various levels. Let us say institute onboards with Camu, student will have support even after his graduation. He can always come back and access his learning. Other than that, the institute, it acts as a bridge between the alma mater and alumni. So whenever students have, whenever you want to offer some short courses, micro learning courses, so you can offer them, students can learn them on the go, they can pay the fees, certification can be done as well, right? Now, to talk of we as a system, we are a 6-year young startup, highly agile, adaptive system where we have more than 420 customers under our belt. So we know each of the institute has its own complexity in having their academic setup. So we are highly configurable based on the institution's requirements. Again, naturally, we are a bunch of people who are very passionate about technology. So again, we are a mobile first system wherein we know that we are all, as academicians, we are all going to deal with a generation of millennials who are more than happy to use everything in their mobile system rather than come open a desktop or a laptop. So all your day-to-day activities for faculty, administrators, as well as teachers can be done using the CAMUS mobile app itself. So we have dedicated mobile systems, both Android as well as iOS, right? Now, again, we have had expertise in global rollout. As I said, we have our presence across 6 different countries. A little about our growth chart. We are a 6-year startup, started way back in 2014. So we went global in 2015, and thereby, as you can see, we have brought in a fully flexible choice-based credit system, outcome-based education modules. And as we all know, the last 4-5 months have created a havoc in every known business, has erupted, disrupted, and education sector is one highly affected, domain. So we have been bringing in multiple tools, right from virtual classrooms, analytics to proctored online examination, and all the student services have been taken digital, from as small as an ID card to as big as a transcript can be requested by the student using the mobile system itself. Again, one feature that we have is, like, as I said, we have more than 420 customers, 1 million students, and we are having more than 50,000 teachers associated with us, 1,200 different programs. So right, you name a program, could be engineering, could be medicine, could be arts and science, could be maritime, could be journalism. So we have been supporting institutes across various verticals, and all our growth has been through sheer referenceability, and we are proud of that fact. So that is a little about we as an organization. So now let me directly dive you all into the product. So let me move ahead and take you into the product. Now, as all of you can see, the orange color screen is the faculty or administrator's login. Now I'm trying to log in as a super user. So what I mean by that is, to the left hand side, you can see all the modules are enabled for me. So normally it is more of a user based role. Based on academicians, they'll have only academic related modules. Maybe admission team, registrar team will have admissions related stuff. Examination team, COE will have those modules. So it is role based access. I'll show the difference by logging in as different users as well. So just to give a small review of what we have done in the last 2 sessions. So firstly, as I always do, let me again congratulate all of you, and let me appreciate one single fact, that as academicians, this session today is happening only because despite of the challenges, despite of COVID, we all want to keep things rolling. We don't want time to be lost by students. So we want the education to still keep on rolling. So in this process, as a little push from we as CAMU, we have been doing multiple CSR, and in this series of webinars, so in order to have any academic setup rolling despite of the COVID scenario, or to take things happening even in a remote setup, so what we understand is admissions should happen and everything should happen online seamlessly. And also we should be able to do your classroom daily activities like assignments, other things which can keep students intact with what is happening. And the third one happens to be your being able to conduct examinations, right? So in the first session of this series, we learned about online admission. In the second session, we learned about online examination. Now today we will try to see online classrooms and how you can plug and play into multiple systems. I'll also try to take you into the experience of automation of attendance, being able to student being able to have access to teaching content, faculty being able to update teaching content on the go, and then also dashboards. So all these features I'll try to cover in the today's webinar session, right? Now, as you can see on the right hand side, I have multiple widgets, right? So each faculty or administrator, based on their requirement, they can personalize on what they want to see and what they don't want to, right? Now, let me also quickly log in as a student. Now, as you see, the moment I have logged in as a student, I have landing page where all my details are there. To the left hand side, you can see multiple modules that are enabled. What we are interested is in classroom process. Now, as you can see today, different sessions that are planned for TESA, what are multiple sessions. So I can, as a student, I can see each day what are the sessions that have been planned for me, right? Now I can also see, you can see Startup Launchpad, course code, LH1003 is nothing but the lecture hall 103. So you can see throughout the week, what is the schedule. So if I have a session, so where physically that classroom is there, again, who is the staff who is taking the session. The system is so designed that tomorrow, let us hope and believe the pandemic pacifies. And I want to take the sessions on the premises. You don't need to do any kind of configurations in the system. The system is so designed that it is hybrid, where you can take online as well as offline classes. And also, we are all going to look at a scenario where blended learning is going to be a reality, where say 30% of the sessions may happen on the campus, 70% may happen remote. So all the scenarios the system fully supports, right? Now, as I said, you can see the schedule here. Now let me log in as a faculty to show you the difference. Now, the moment I have logged in as faculty, you can see to the left-hand side, I do not have admissions. I do not have examinations. I do not have billing. So as a faculty, they have access only to few things. Now, using this one single widget of schedule, right? I will try to show you how you can conduct classes, how you can automate attendance, how you will be able to update your teaching plan. All of them can be done using single widget. So similarly, each of the widget has capability to do multiple things, right? Now, if it is a normal scenario, right, as you can see, this environment that we have has Zoom enabled into it as a backend process. Now, I'll try to show you how you will be able to change those things, plug and play system when I mean, right? Now, let me log in as a super user to be able to showcase that to you. I'm trying to show you how you can change from one system to other. Now, if I want to say one faculty, right? If I go and edit, right, you can have all the faculty details, their employer details, their education qualifications, their publications, all other things, right? So here you have something called as online meeting configuration. Now, as you can see, the demo environment that I am showing you is integrated with Zoom. So you can see the APIs, you can see the ID. Similarly, if you want to change it to C-Lite HD, or if you want to use Microsoft Teams, as of now, we are supporting 3 different video conferencing tools. That is the most commonly used Zoom, Teams, and C-Lite HD. Now, we are normally asking education institutions to associate with Teams, because Zoom, you have to again take licenses, but Teams, as of now, for education institutions, it is coming free of cost. So, but again, based on your choice, your requirement, any kind of tool can be integrated just by a single plug and play system, right? Now, just to showcase you the experience, let me show the whole, as we are already in a Zoom session, I'll try to show the experience using the Microsoft Teams. So now let me log in as a faculty where Microsoft Teams is enabled. You can see in the schedule widget, multiple sessions are there, right? Now, let us say I want to conduct this 1 to 2 session, right? Now, let me also log in as a student. Now, if I go to my timetable, I have multiple sessions for me. Now, let us say I want to conduct this science session, right? Now, if I go and check the attendance, right? Now, by default, you can see the system has made everybody present. This is a normal kind of on-premises scenario where the faculty will either call for the attendance, mark absent, present using his mobile system or desktop, or our CAMU system also provides integration with RFID or your facial recognition using the IP-based cameras. So this is a normal kind of scenario. But what we are interested now is an online session. So I'll simply come. You can see the advantage in the Camus platform is you don't need to create links. You don't need to share the links to the students. So all this clutter can be avoided. The experience would be I am coming as a faculty and simply stating schedule meet. That's all. You can see the meeting getting scheduled. No logins, nothing is required. So you will do it all first time. So meeting is scheduled. Now student will get an email automated trigger or bulb notification in the app stating that the class has been enabled. Now you can see on the right hand side for that particular session, attend online is there. Now comes the question, so do we have to do this every time before I start the session? No. If you want to schedule the whole month at a time, you can always do that. You can simply go into the timetable and schedule the whole session for the whole month or whole week. Now this is another feature where we are giving on the go also faculty can start the session. Now you can see attend online has been enabled for Naresh. As a faculty, I'll simply come, I will say start meeting. So either you can download the Teams app or I'm trying to continue on the browser. So you can see the Teams session is starting. So I'm trying to unmute my mic here. So you can see Vigneshwaran is a faculty taking one course called Science. So I have joined the session. So Vigneshwaran has, as a faculty, has joined the session. Now Naresh being a student, either using the mobile app or the desktop, he'll simply say attend online. Now the system is asking me, do you want to record the attendance? I would say yes. That's all. Naresh is also directly taken into the session. No logins, no nothing. Now as you are able to see, so Naresh is joining the session. Now this is the student's view. Student is seeing that Vigneshwaran is taking this class. Now as a faculty, I can see total number of participants that are there in a session. And then I'm trying to share multiple things, like you can completely share a whiteboard where in the whiteboard you will be able to, do mathematical equations, write anything, being able to share, you can share presentations, right? And then, yeah, as you can see, right? So you can start the session. You can use, either entry or you will be able to use pencil. You can move the whole board, or if you already have prepared a presentation or a video file, you can always share that, right? Students from their end, they can raise their hand, they can, so I'm not going into the details because all of us know how these sessions are conducted, but just to show you the experience. Now you can record the whole session as well, right? So during the session. Now once, this is how the experience of the session will be there, either using a Zoom or Teams or T-Lite HD. So now let me end this session and try to show you what are the advantages of being on Camu, right? Now I've ended the session. The first thing is, now let's start and see what are the multiple capabilities that Camu offers. Now student, let us assume student has attended the session. Session has finished. I got the session recorded, right? Now starts the magic of Camu, where as you can see, faculty will simply come for this particular science session. I want to check the attendance. Now you can see by default, everybody is made absent, and as students keep on joining the session, the attendance will be taken. So you can see attendance for Naresh is only being taken, right? Similarly, Camu has something called as teaching content for the students, where you can see, say Startup Launchpad is one particular session or subject where each unit, what is the subunit, which date it is planned, what is the status, is it completed, yet to be completed, or yet to be planned, right? And similarly, for every session, student can simply come before the session itself, they'll be having access to what is the objective of the session, what is the content summary, abstract, teaching learning activities, if at all if there is a textbook reference can be put, any attachments can be put here by the faculty, which students can always download and access it, right? Now, just to emphasize, all of you will be able to relate. This is the whole idea of flipped classroom, right? Where before the session itself, we are giving the students what is going to be taught during the session, and we are giving them inputs so that in a way student will be prepared for the sessions. We are flipping the roles of teachers as well as students, right? And then, yeah, I request for all of the faculty or members who have joined the session who are raising their hands, kindly put your questions in the questionnaire. So we'll be taking your questions in the last few minutes of the session. Thank you. Now, one thing is, this is how you can engage the flipped classroom concept can be brought in. The second part of it, for those of the faculty who are involved in the accreditation processes, now you can see this is exactly relevant to the lesson plan or teaching plan or the course plan or session plans that we make, right? This is exactly similar, which will make faculty easier to have a complete consolidated report for teaching content, which can be used in the course files that we prepare during the accreditation process. Now, moving ahead, now let us assume, okay, session has been conducted, right? Now, one session was conducted. Because of either bandwidth, Tessa could not attend the session, or there is a scenario where Tessa attended the session, but she wanted to revise the whole session, right? Or she wanted to, have a revision of the complete session. So Tessa can always come. You can simply put the link here where the whole recorded session, or if you want to add any YouTube video, or if you want to add any content that the college has made or the school has made, can simply be put here. Now, in our case, so Tessa has missed the session. She or he will come simply either in the mobile system or in the app. They'll click it. Now, as you can see, this is taking them to the recorded session. So I'll simply open the recorded session. Now I have put a crash course video here on entrepreneurship. So this way, your whole recorded sessions can be accessed and put here, right? Now comes the question, okay, from where will I access my recorded session, right? Now, just to extend the same Microsoft Teams example, so you can always have your content. If at all, if you're using Microsoft, you will have it in something called as Microsoft Stream, using which you can use the content from there, or in the Zoom, it will go into any drive based on your choice. So you can simply use those links. Those links can be put in the teaching plan, in the teaching content, right? As you can see in the teaching content. So all this teaching content, each day, what is being planned can be put in the teaching content. So which you can dynamically update on the go whenever you want to make changes in anything before 10 minutes before the session, 1 hour before the session, you can make changes as well, right? Now comes the question. So do I have to do it for each of the units where I have to go enter and data? No. As you in Camo, we have given this feasibility where at all the places where bulk data is needed, we will simply give you an Excel template. You can download the template, dump in all your data into it. The system itself will organize the data, right? It will not only organize. Now comes the question, okay, the session has been completed. I'm able to have access to the recording as well. And another feature is immediately after every session, students can come and they will be able to give feedback, right? So how good or how bad the session was, so that all these feedbacks can be collated and we can have an understanding of in which sessions students are having problem, and thereby either any mitigation can be done where we can give some kind of revision classes or some additional hours can be spent by the faculty for those particular sessions, right? Now let us move back to the faculty and see what are the other things they have access to using the same schedule widget, right? Now in the schedule widget, I have shown you how we can take classes, how we can automate the session. Now comes, okay, what if I want to update my teaching plan, right? Now, when I go into teaching plan, you can see left-hand side, each day, what is that is planned is here. right? Now, do I have to do the planning? No, the system will do it for you. You need to simply say, plan for me. It will tell you how many hours are pending. You just need to give a start date. The system will take into consideration your academic, your teaching content, your academic timetable, and then also your academic calendar. And based on that, each day, each period, what is to be taught, the system will itself plan. Now, as you can see, now once it is planned, humanly, it is not possible where even though it is planned, there's a possibility that faculty was absent, some quiz was conducted, some sudden activity happened. So that particular session did not happen on that day. So I can simply come, we can block the period. We can say, substitution happened, quiz was conducted. And the moment I say yes, the whole session gets pushed by one single day, right? That's how, we have gone into the details as well. On the right hand side, you can see each session. Once it is completed, faculty can simply come and mark it as complete, right? The moment I mark it as complete, you can see it will update in my small dashboard here that is showing progress and how many number of hours and what is the variance, right? Now, all this will help us in populating multiple dashboards, which I'll try to showcase you over as we go deeper into the session, right? So that is how the experience of updating the teaching plan on the go would be for the faculty, right? Now, again, what if we want to engage students in a way where I want to give them assignments remotely, and I want to be able to have a complete traction over how assignments can be given and how I will be able to assign it to the students. So using the same widget, you can see I'm coming into assignments. In the assignment screen, you can see all the assignments that have been given by the faculty. Whenever I want to give an assignment, I'll simply come, I'll select whichever subject it is, I'll select which all course I want, any subtopics. So all the pre-populated assignments from your teaching content will come over here. With a single click, Lee can assign this assignment to all her students in this session of who are taking this course of Introduction to Financial Accounting. So I can give a due date, allow late submission, all this can be done and assigned. The moment assignment is assigned to a faculty, by a faculty to a student, students will get a bulb notification or email trigger that so-and-so assignments have been given. So you can see all assignments, pending assignments, status, submitted, verified, submitted but not yet verified. So all these things, right? Now, whenever students wants to submit something, they can simply come here. You can see faculty wants me to do a poster creation on financials of Fortune 500 companies. So which topic? Then faculty has given me a link. I can simply click the link. It will take me into those details. Then I can either, if it is an answer that can be typed, that can be done, or if it is a attachment that I have made, could be any JPEG, could be PDF, could be presentation, I can simply attach it. And once it is done, I can submit it. The moment I submit it, faculty will be able to come and check different assignments that students have done. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, the moment I say get students, all the students who have submitted the assignment are here. So the moment you can see submitted, you can either download the assignment and may be able to make changes, or you can edit it here itself. It will open up in the screen where you will be able to annotate it here itself. Once annotation is done, it will directly be sent to the students. You can give them a score, you can give them a rating. Students can always come back and check their assignments. They can see the rating, they can see the remarks, so all other things. That is how you can keep them engaged during the assignment process as well, right? Now, now the question comes, what if it is an ad hoc assignment? Like suddenly, if I'm as a faculty, I'm going through a journal. I write this journal a lot, and I want to share it across with the students, right? We can always do it. So you can select what type of work it is. So any assignment that you want to do, you can simply attach and send it to the students. And then assignments can also be attached to tools like rubrics or OBE. So based on the requirement. So that is how you can have complete traction over assignments as well, right? Now we try to show you how you will be able to conduct classes, how you can change from each of the video conferencing platform as per your requirements, right? And also I try to show you in this process how the attendance is also automated in the session, right? Now comes the question, sir, what if I want a second level of governance over attendance, right? Now for that, we have also brought in something called as a QR code, right? Now for the same session that we conducted, the science session, we can always have something called as QR code. We can disable the automated attendance and we can show this QR code in the session. Now students have to scan this QR code using the mobile app. Only then the attendance will be taken. So by this we can curb this issue of students attentivity, student not attending in between or all this kind of thing. Other than that, we also have something like timestamp that will show when student started the session, when he ended the session, if he has rejoined, so all this kind of thing. So this QR code will help us have one more step of governance during the attendance process, right? Now let me quickly take you into dashboards, and now comes the question. Okay, sir, sessions are conducted, online sessions are happening, right? Now what if as a principal, as an administrator, I want to know in this particular department, right, this particular month, right, how much syllabus has been completed, or how much teaching plan progress is happening, or let us say Fayaz faculty in so and so department, what is the syllabus that he has covered? If you want to have that kind of data, that kind of dashboards, none of the video conferencing tools will be able to do. We at Canvas, we have integrated LMS and SIS into a single platform. Your scheduling not only becomes easy, but also you will have these kind of governance, right? So now let me quickly first show you how timetabling can be automated in the platform, and then I'll try to take you into the different dashboards. Now, whenever you want to have any academic schedule, you can have academic planning, where I will do different types of configuration, my academic year, semester planning, staff planning, which particular department, which subjects, which staff are going to take it, right? So that way we can completely do staff planning. I'm trying to take you into those screens just to show you little snippets of that. Now you are able to see this, which course, which subject, how many hours, so all this. Then I'm coming into timetabling, where you can have your timetable, right? I'm trying to view it so you can see how many sessions, right? And then I can simply select and see this particular course, Introduction to Financial Accounting. There are 5 sessions happening across the week, and you can download the student list. All the students who have taken that particular course will get downloaded, right? And then other than that, you can also have, the system is so designed that our timetable will check for 3 different types of conflicts. It will change for location, check for location conflict. It will not allow 2 parallel sessions to happen in any single classroom or lecture hall. Then it will check for subject conflict, I mean time conflict naturally, and also it will check for staff conflict. The moment, so if at all that staff is already engaged in any session across any other department, it will not allow us to take that particular staff. So these 3 conflicts are automatically checked by the system. And also here also in the timetable, we give you a feature of upload, where we give you a template. You can give a start date, end date, and then you will be able to upload the template where the timetabling can automatically be done. So the timetabling is highly robust, where you can have like a typical setup, whole session having a single timetable, or each week the timetable changing, or dynamically if you want changes to be made in the timetable every single day or whenever you want, those kind of things also can be done using the platform, right? Again, all this access of being able to do timetable changing and other things can be to whichever role you want to hold this, or whomever you want to give access to, only to them you can give access to timetable as well, right? Now let me quickly take you into dashboards, where we will try to see a few dashboards. You can see on the left hand side, we can have multiple dashboards that will make your governance easy. So let us see. Now I'm trying to open say teaching plan progress dashboard. As you can see, there are multiple dashboards here. Say I want to know teaching plan progress. Now all our dashboards that we have designed are dynamic dashboards. You can drill them down to any level you want. Now, as you can see, this is a teaching plan progress. So let us say I am a principal. I am wanting to see in all the departments in one Ross University. So, again, relevant to more of engineering kind of thing, but we can extend it to any kind of programs. So there are multiple BTech programs. So BTech computer, so you can see which semester I want to check, which all programs I want to see, how many months. So say 2 months of April and May, which staff. So all these are different filters that you can use. I'll show that capability. Now, as you can see, BTech computer science, till this 2 months, 29% of the total syllabus is completed. Similarly, electronic communication, some 15% is completed. On the right-hand side, you can see multiple subjects. Mathematics, 10.7% is completed. Value education, so and so percentage is completed, right? Now, that is how you will be able to have traction of it. Now comes, okay, I want to know only in computer science, what is the syllabus that has been completed. I'll select only computer science. Now you can see on the right hand side, all the subjects of computer science have come up, right? Your big data, your Python, programming and other things. So each of it, how much syllabus is completed, you will be able to see, right? And then I comes, okay, I don't want, I just want to know by staff. So I want to know Janaki Raman, what is that syllabus that he has covered till this time or till today. Now, Janaki Raman has been taking 2 courses which are spread across different departments, those being some graphic design and practices lab. So 67% of graphic design is completed, 32% of workshop session is completed. So that is how. And on the right hand side, you can see which department, how many sessions were conducted for those 2 courses. So in this way, you will have complete governance over teaching plan. Now again, there are multiple dashboards for your receipts or program-wise revenue and all other things. Maybe that is a story for another day or a discussion for another day. So that is a little to be able to showcase the different capabilities of dashboards. Now let me, before we open the questionnaire, so let me also try to show you using the mobile app how students will be able to join in the session. So now let me quickly cast my mobile screen to showcase you that capability. Give me a moment, please. Now, as you can see, I have casted my mobile on the screen. Now, My Camo is a student's app. Camo is a faculty's app. Faculty can always log in and they can see. Let me just go a month ahead and see. Okay. So in the mobile itself, they'll be able to, check for their attendance, update attendances and all other these things. So you can see teaching plan. I don't mind the latency. As you can see here, how much is pending, how much is completed, right? Then whenever I want to update anything from mark to complete, the moment I take a session, I can do it in the mobile system itself. Now it is showing teaching plan is updated successfully. Similarly, whenever I want to take any attendance, let us say, I can simply come, I can say take attendance. So we don't want faculty to be doing any kind of data entry. All this is touch based, right? And all things like, if at all, let us say student is late. So late by how much time, right? All those little intricacies have been taken care in the system, right? Okay, again, now what we are interested is in the online scenario where students can attend the session using the mobile system. So let me log in as a student. Now you can see your college branding is coming over, all the different features that a student has access to, right from teaching plan to being able to see their attendance percentage, right? Now you can see one particular course of BBS 2013, out of 46 sessions, student has attended 32 sessions. 68% is our attendance. So that is how students will have visibility for their attendances. Now, again, I'm seeing billing. So let me go into timetable. Now you can see here timetable is enabled, right? Now the moment if I start an online session, I'm just showing that experience, right? Now let us say we start a session. Now let us say Philly wants to start this 12:30 session. The moment I schedule this session here, you can say meeting is scheduled, right? And if I now come back and check in the student screen in the mobile app, now you can see previously we did not have the attend online tab. I started the startup launchpad session between 12:30 to 1:30. Now you can see attend online is enabled here, right? And the moment I click attend online, it will take me into the session, right? Now I'm also trying to check the teaching plan. Now they will be able to see each unit, what is the objective, what is the content summary, teaching learning activities, and also if at all you have any video that have been put or any other data. So all those sessions that they want to revise. So all this access is there in the mobile as well. So that is just to give you inputs on the mobile session also, right? So I try to show you little snippets of how you will be able to conduct online sessions and how you will be able to do multiple things during an online session, and how students, how you can automate the attendance, how students will have access to teaching content, and how faculty or administrators will have access to dashboards. I just try to showcase you dashboards, but you can also have multiple types of reports for attendances, for classroom performance, for all other kind of things that are needed in your day-to-day academic activities. So on the left hand side, as you can see, there is a report launcher where you can have multiple reports. So in a student, you can see unrecorded attendance student. There are close to 250 reports based on multiple filters we have. So you can simply generate any type of attendance percentage, attendance record, attendance report. So all these things can be downloaded. I can simply select, say if I want attendance percentage, I'll select which department, how much, what time. So it will give me different types of reports, both in Excel as well as PDF. So let me open this question session for questionnaire. I understand there will be multiple questions. I once again thank all of you for being able to join the session. Now, Dr. Selvaraj, Sunita Selvaraj has a question. If we can track, I request you all to have a questions here so that I'll be able to answer. Can we track on practical sessions or clinical sessions? Okay. Now, thank you, madam. That was a very relevant question. So just to extend the question, can we do clinicals? Can we do labs? Can we do engineering experiments using the mobile, using the platform? Yes, we do have medical institutions associated with us. But again, there is always some kind of limitation with respect to experimentation, unless and until students have something on hand-on. At least for medical clinicals, it is definitely not possible, to extend it to that level of expertise. But what is being done and what can be done definitely is you can extend, or you can have a hardware of web camera, where the web camera can be mobile, right? That can be attached to the system, and you can use the same web camera to show up the clinicals, or to take it near to any equipment and be able to showcase. So that students who are in remote or who are doing it virtually, they'll be able to appreciate what is happening. So rather than using the mobile camera, you can always use a web camera with a high definition camera. So that can be used across, and you can show your clinicals and experimentation as well. So as of now, yeah, that is how we have been doing it. Hope that answers the question. Thank you so much, madam. So how could you unmute the audio? Now to mute and unmute the audio or video, it is there in the platform itself. So let us say if I'm talking of Zoom, here you can see you can mute and unmute. That is how simply you'll be able to do that. And then talking of hands-on activities using CAMU, yes, we very much have multiple types of hands-on activities. Maybe one thing is I did show you the assignment part of it, how you can give assignments. And then you can also give online examinations where students can come and do online quizzes and examinations. I'm just trying to showcase you a small snippet into it. As you can see, this way objective, subjective, or any kind of examinations can be done. in the platform. Other than, again, the last session we had a detailed thing on how examination itself is a very deep demonstration, but I'm just showcasing you. Other than this, we also have something called as project. Now let us say if your student are doing some mini project, right? Now if you want to have traction over it, right? Now you can go into projects where, as you said, you can have activities, right? You can give them activities where you can see, you can use this for projects, internships. So this is a versatile module where you can give them, say, now this is a scenario where they are at home and we don't know if they are performing that activities or not, right? So you can give them, okay, this week you can give them multiple tasks, and for each of the tasks you can give marks, where students are expected to come over and do those tasks, and then you can, so that you can have a traction on each day what is happening. Then also students will have access to a diary, so they can write each day what is that they have performed, what are the outcomes they have learned. Now let's just say today mathematics I have few questions, I can just put it in remarks, so that I can always have an understanding over what is happening, and I can we can have this communication like. So this way, yes, you can have traction as well as keep students engaged using the platform. So hope I answered the question. Okay, we have a question. You have shown the scheduled meeting viewed by the principal, but can the academic heads can do the allotment or timetable for teachers or class? Yes. Just to answer this question from Rajini, you can see to the left hand side there is something called as security group, right? You can create multiple groups, right? There can be admission team, student affairs team, teachers team. Now if I select a teacher, now you can see there are 490 features in the system. So to this group of teachers I have given only 31 features, right? So similarly principal, he might have more access. So what are new things I want, I can simply say I can push. So based on that, teachers might not have, if you want to give access to any teachers or head coordinators, you can definitely give that. So hope I answered that question. So this is how access based thing works, right? Now we have a question from Cara Wilson. As an admission, how can you use reports, as an admin, how can you use reports on student progress? Can you show how to use these reports both as faculty and as admin? Yes, as I said, to the left hand side, you have access to, just let me, on student progress, right? Okay, fantastic. Now you can have multiple reports. Again, we can configure few reports based on the institute's requirement also, but just to see reports, now for students, right? Now you have multiple reports. Now the question was on student progress reports, right? You can simply select student progress. So for some of them, we have also have a eye that tells you, what is the progress all about, right? Now student progress report is nothing but where once you enter your assessment, right? Now you will be able to give which course they are in, which program they are in. And then you can select the school and search for multiple reports, right? Then once you get a report, what kind of evaluation you want, what kind of grading system. Then once you do that, once an assessment is there, let us say they have done an internal examination. So using the student progress report, you will be able to generate reports of students for that particular examination in that particular course. So that is one way of using that specific report, right? Hope I answered the question. Now moving ahead. Again, I mean, can a timetable be made by academic head in the beginning of year and allot the classes and timing period? Yeah, that's the whole idea, Rajini madam. You will be not only be able to give the whole access to academic head, but it can be categorized to whom you want to give access. Now let us say timetable can be done by academic head, or you can give access that I can request them as a faculty to give something, okay, this timetable change. It will go to a first level, okay, then academic head's approval, that will get reflected. So that kind of streamlining can be brought into the timetabling process. Now I have one more question. How is your online exam proctored, especially for handwritten examination? Yeah, anyways, now this is more of out of the context for today's agenda. But again, for the subjective kind of examinations, yes, you can very much do it, but where students can write it on the paper and then photograph can be taken and that can be shared as an answer. But to be able to proctor on what they are writing during the in the paper, that can be done in two ways. One is in the AI platform, where the system itself will detect for any suspicion. If at all his eyelids are in a suspicious motion, or somebody else is entering into the camera view, or somebody impersonator. So all these things are taken as violations. Then other than that, you also have live proctoring, right, where you can be viewing the student, and then you can always see what he is trying to do, if he's trying to do any kind of malpractice. So that is how subjective questions, when they are writing, can be proctored using the platform. So that is a question out of the context for those of you who could not connect. That is related to the proctoring, where in the platform our examinations can completely be proctored, and you can write from entrances, internal and end examination. All of them can be done in the platform itself. Now let us see if I have other questions. This we have already answered. So we have 5 more minutes left. Okay, the question is from Rakesh Kumar. Sir, the live proctoring is not through Meet, sir. For live proctoring, we have associated with a US-based tool called ProctorTrack, using which we are doing the live proctoring. Yeah, hope I answered the question. Yeah, we have 5 more minutes, please. I request all the faculty, administrators, and staff who have joined from across different departments to please shoot any questions they have. I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, maybe Priya Sharma madam has raised her hand. I request you to please type your question in the question and answer. There are multiple people trying to do it, so we'll not be able to speak to each of you one-on-one. So Rajni madam has one more question. Can I just know, will the repetition of first 2 sessions be done? If at all you're going to do in future, as I have missed the first 2 sessions. Okay, thank you so much, Rajni madam, for your interest in the product. You can always write back to us, where we can always share with you the recorded session, so that should not be a problem. You can always write to us at support@camu, or maybe we will leave our email IDs with you, because our team has been in communication with you. So to the email IDs through which you have got, you can always come back to them and ask them for the session, where we can always provide you with more details, and the recorded sessions can be shared with you. Yeah, thank you, Rajni ma'am. Can you conduct a webinar for 1,000 students? Yes, you can conduct webinars for any number of students, but again, via the platform, if you want to do it, unlike a normal classroom session, you might have to pay for that particular hour or for that particular day for using a webinar. But if it is a normal classroom session using Teams, you can parallelly have up to parallelly you can have any number of sessions. In each session, you can have up to 250 students. Yeah, it could be as a principal or as any other person. You can definitely conduct webinars. So yeah, Sasikala ma'am, please go ahead. You can type the question in the you can type the question in the question answer section. And for those of you who feel that some of your questions could not be answered, or you could not because of the time constraint where we could not take your questions, please write back to us on your queries. We are more than happy to share answers to all of your questions on different questions you have on the product. So I think I have a question, so let me take this. We have been introduced to CAMU a year back and have worked on it for past months. Can you please Dr. Diana Prem, I'm absolutely sorry, because we will not be able to show all the setup that I've shown you is only a demo kind of environment. At Camu, we strongly believe privacy and security comes as highest prime for us. We will not be able to take you into any of the data, so it is highly encrypted. We are a ISO 27001 organization. Where we do not share any of our institutions or client data with anybody. So if you feel that you are already associated with us, you can please connect with your single point of contact, and our implementation engineer who is associated with Camu will come back to you and help you in showcasing your institution's pages or other things. Hope I answered the question, Dr. Diana. Kindly send recording sessions useful to us. Definitely, we will share across the recorded sessions. And for those of you who want the previous recording sessions, you can always connect with our team. And also, we are looking forward for all of you in the future sessions that we are going to bring in on various modules that are present across the platform. Again, I'd like to thank each one of you for being able to take out your time and being able to join the session. So maybe last 1-2 minutes, if you have 1 or 2 more questions, we'll take it, and then we'll try to wind this session. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Let us hope and believe things slowly hit the normalcy, and let us hope all of us stay safe, right? And thank you so much for joining the session. For any other queries, please write back to us. We are more than happy to connect with you, and we are more than happy to share all the other details about the product. Hope this session has helped you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience. Thank you. All of you stay safe. Thank you. Other, maybe we can end the session. Hope we are good to go with your recording and other things. Yeah, thank you everyone.